everyone. Welcome to the first Be Live Facebook event for the next big step with Melanie Benson, Lisa Thomas, and your host, JJ Flazanes. Today we're going to be talking about removing money blocks. And this is not just a preview, it's actually a session. So let's talk. Let's help you remove some money blocks and talk about what gets in the way for people. I've been asking everyone today to get involved with the live broadcast, and I actually have some questions, and I'll keep looking for some. But if you're watching this live right now, definitely feel free to, you can even come on the screen. This is the talk show portion that I paid for this thing here. So feel free if you want to come in. There's a way to do it. You get to go in the lobby. So I'm not quite sure if you can figure that out. Get in the lobby and I'll pull you on and you can ask your question live on camera. And if not, you can text down at the bottom and let us know what it is you want to know about. So let's start with just going over who's with me, what you're going to talk about at the event, what you specialize with your clients, and how you're going to help people remove money blocks. Let's start with Melanie. Melanie.
Yeah, so, my big specialty is helping people be able to take big, bold leaps. And usually it's around business, but sometimes it's around other areas of their life. And one of the things that gets in the way is our thoughts and our beliefs and our stories that we make up about things. So I'm going to be, and this is a big team of effort here, but we're going to be releasing a lot of those money mindset blocks and upgrading how you're showing up and how your behaviors and your patterns and your belief systems, and most importantly, your paradigm of what's possible. So my intention is at the event, we're going to literally do like DNA upgrades so that people leave that event courageous, confident, and capable of taking that next big step in their life.
Okay. I have questions for both of you, but I'm going to direct over to Lisa next. Lisa, tell us all about you and how you help people release money blocks.
Okay, I love releasing money blocks. So it's a great topic. I am an energy practitioner that specializes in releasing inherited emotional DNA. It's really important to know that we inherit a lot of wonderful things from our lineage, but we also inherit some things that complicate our life, and they show up as money blocks. It can show up as self-sabotage and procrastination. It can show up as scarcity, how we honor or dishonor our money. And we don't have to own these. That's what's wonderful, is we can get rid of them so that who you came to earth to be, all right, which is successful, can happen easier.
So my question for you ladies is, what do you think the biggest and easiest, maybe they're two different things, but if you can address them if they really are, the one biggest thing or the easiest thing that get in people's way that you see over and over again, that either really just stops them completely or is an easy fix that doesn't take that long to overcome. Let me start with Melanie.
Yeah, and I just want to give a little shout out to Chris McPeak, who's given us some love here. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris. She was so excited. Thanks for being here. I appreciate the support, Chris. She's going to be with us in September at the next big step.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think if I look at like the overarching stuck point that everybody struggles with, that it's the decision point. And so if I reverse engineer why someone's stuck and why they're not getting results and maybe why they're not experiencing the financial flow they want, or there's a goal that's holding them back, oftentimes it's because they haven't really made the decision. And so what's happening is there's this ambiguous energy or this disconnected energy that they're not actually all in. So their resourcefulness is not tied to the result. Their attention's not tied to the result. Their attention is tied to the problem. Their attention is tied to the gap. Their attention is tied to where they are now. And so there's more energy and more connection and more of a relationship to the stuckness and or the place they are now than what they're trying to call in. And so when we look at money blocks in the way I do it, I'm always looking at what decision have you made? Have you made the decision to be making six figures? Have you made the decision to thrive financially? Have you actually made a decision to, be in love with money, right? Or are your conscious and unconscious decisions still more connected to the past? And so there's a sign that I always look for, and you can apply this right now in your life, is first of all, what outcome are you having? On some level, conscious or unconscious, you've made a decision, and you're more committed to that than you are these new results. And there's a famous saying, when you're interested in something, you do just enough. When you're committed to something, you do everything it takes.
Yeah.
So that's one of the first places I'll start to unravel money blocks, is really looking at the level of a decision that you've made. And I have a story, if you want, I can tell it later, but we'll let Lisa jump in. Oh, Deborah's here. Hi, Deborah.
Yeah, hi, Deborah. I know, I saw Deborah come in too. Yeah, absolutely. And what I heard that's also in alignment with, for me, for law of attraction, is the difference between decision and commitment, or interest and commitment, right? Is, I think, the belief in whether you can or not. And I know you talk about that people get caught up in the how. I'd say the same thing for law of attraction too. People have an idea about something that they want, but because they don't know how, it takes them out of the game, and now it's about disbelief. So it's this dichotomy of, I can say one thing, I say that I want this, but I actually don't believe I can have it because I don't know how to get there. I don't feel like I deserve it, and all that other stuff. So I see how that could play out too. One of the questions that we had that we'll address is from one of the people from Instagram, and she was asking about law of attraction, but I want you guys to address it as well. So, okay, so Lisa, so let's talk about what, and I kind of already know the answer to this, maybe, but what is, because I've done so much work with you, and you've helped me in so many ways, what is what you think comes up as the most prevalent, the most powerful block that is easily removable, or at least, something to shift that won't take forever?
Okay. Let me backtrack just a minute and address something that Melody said. We can set our goal that we want 6 figures, and we can start moving forward with that. But then what happens when we don't attain it? So we can inherit those limiting beliefs because an ancestor failed. They had their hopes and dreams came crashing in, right? The most common inherited emotion when it comes to money blocks is scarcity. But see, scarcity can be kind of tricky for us because we can have a scarcity of love. We can have a scarcity of self-love, that we believe we are worthy to make money. We can have a scarcity of abundance mindset because of feeling unworthy. And we can have inherited shame that causes us to never feel worthy. So it's never just one thing, but what is common among all of it, it is not hard to get rid of. We do not have to hold on to our money blocks, and they're easy to release.
That's what I want to hear. That's what people want to hear. Right. So I want to ask this question, since it was sent to me several hours ago, and then I want to have you guys address it, and then I want to address it in law of attraction terminology. So this is from Michelet Johnson. She said, I've spent the last month or so completely binging on your podcast. Thank you. I love the law of attraction, but struggle with it so much. One question I have for you, especially with money: how do I, a complete realist, use law of attraction but still maintain realistic? It is so hard for me to use law of attraction when my bank account says 0. It's so hard not to worry about things like, can I afford gas today, or can I pay this bill? Thank you, JJ. You've helped me grow so much, and I'm so appreciative of you. Sending love from Colorado. Mwah, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to start with Melanie and address what comes up for you when you hear that question, how to answer that.
Yeah, I love this question because I'm a realist. Yeah, so here's the thing. I had to teach myself that amazing, like great, extraordinary things rarely come from logic. And what I, as a realist, have got to learn how to embrace is the power of magic. And so magic isn't necessarily a magic trick. It's recognizing that you can actually create outcomes when you get unattached to how it's supposed to get there. One of the things that I've gotten to practice, and really, the universe put me into a masterclass with this one, is like, how do you trust what you can't see? And I think when it comes to money, many of us are trained to look at what we see. And so I like to play the game called, what if I could create any money I want right now? What if I took this is where I think it's supposed to come from, and then I dissolve it. And I said, if I wanted to call in like $10,000 right now, and I trusted and I believe with every fiber of my being that it could come in, and I get unattached to all of the logical sources, what could happen? And so now I'm an entrepreneur, so I have a lot of extra tools in that case, right? So I think when in an entrepreneurial level, we have a little bit more command over our cash flow. But I've seen this happen in all different ways where, you can have money show up in ways that you never imagined. So my husband actually works in a traditional employment scenario, and we play this game all the time for him. And so he'll be like, okay, so what if I want an extra $10,000 this month? I wonder where it could come from. And amazingly, like he'll have a relative, give him something new. He'll have a bonus show up that he wasn't expecting. He'll have a new client. So that means he gets an extra show. So things come in that he can't plan for. So I think one of the things about what I call the magic of bold is if you can unattach yourself to it has to look like this and say, okay, so I'm claiming this. I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know what it's coming from, but this is the energetic experience I'm going to have. And now I got to trust that it's coming in somehow. And then be willing to move your feet in the direction, right? It's not going to just come out of the sky in a big bag of, golden dust. I mean, it's got to have action with it. So I guess that's where I'll start, but I may want to circle back after Lisa takes a turn.
No problem. No, don't worry. I'm being really good about keeping my mouth shut. So I'm kidding.
Really good.
Not a problem. Lisa, how would you answer this question?
Well, if I can remember the question, right? I find that when we set our goals too big, see, you have to remember we've got two parts of the brain. We have the conscious brain, and we're taught that, hey, let's be empowered, and I'm going to go from making 2,000 to 25,000, and I'm going to do it. And you set that intention, and then boom, it doesn't happen. It's because the subconscious has this belief, right, that it knows who you are, and it's going to make sure that it stays that way because that's what's safe. So I always suggest start with smaller increments. If you're making 2,000, look at what it's going to take to make 3,000. And then to celebrate your little wins. The other thing that I find to be really helpful is to give gratitude. Gratitude when something shows up, when you find the penny, and yeah, I'm serious about a penny, okay? Because it's like the universe is testing you. Are you going to be aware of what's going well in your life? Because when we get stuck in the fear of what's not going well, it's hard for that energetic vibration, right, to get anything through to it. So when you start to give gratitude, it raises your vibration to an abundance mindset. Automatically, it'll do that.
Absolutely. Hello, Rosemary. I'm glad you're tuning in from Big Bear. Hi, Heidi. And Kareem, yes, I know, I feel like you. There is golden dust. Melanie was just making a joke. But that realist, right, that it's not going to fall from the sky. But as you recently experienced, Kareem, when you went to Abraham's last event here in town, there is golden dust in different ways. So I'm going to go back and just quickly recap the question again so that I can answer it how I would answer it, which is similar to, everyone's stuff is, it all resonates and it all hits different parts of the same answer. She's basically asking, how is it so the realist part? So you know what realist means in law of attraction? That you're looking at what is. Because anything that is had to be a thought before it was a thing. It had to have a non-physical idea and before it became physical. So when you're looking at what is, that's what you're calling realistic, because it's in front of you and you think you can taste it and touch it, right? But what ends up happening is that the more you focus on what is, the more you keep creating what is, because you're in vibration with what is. You can't notice what is in becoming because you're not looking forward, you're looking either backwards or looking down. So in law of attraction terminology, it's not about denying that your bank account says zero. There's a difference between what you're looking at and how you're responding to it and what you're doing next about it. If you see your bank account says zero, in that moment, you have the opportunity of what you're going to tell yourself and how you're going to react to that. You may decide to tell yourself, it could mean nothing. And so what the kind of work that I love to engage in and have people come together together to do is to the place where you can see that and it doesn't bother you at all, because you recognize it is a temporary manifestation of everything prior to this moment. And from this moment on, you're creating what's coming next. And so this hasn't caught up with where you're going next, but your attention to it keeps you in alignment with that. So that's all you can see. Have you ever bought a car or were researching a car and all of a sudden you see that car everywhere? And you guys on my podcast have heard me tell the story. You all of a sudden, once you have your new car, see it everywhere. And you're like, oh my God, everyone else bought the same car I did. Did they? No, they were always there. But you weren't in that frequency until you bought the car. Now you're tuned to that. So when you're looking at the zero balance in your bank account, that's clarity of I don't like this, and I'm having this negative experience about not liking this. So what comes out of that is, what do I want now? What do I want? I don't want this. So you have a choice of focusing on what you don't like and staying in that frequency, or going, okay, I really don't like this, cry, get mad, move on. What do I want to create? Because until you get into vibrational alignment with it, you can't see it. You're not going to get it until you're feeling the feelings of vibrationally being there. You guys have known this story. Those of you that watch that listen to the podcast know what my most recent manifestation is. My most recent manifestation happened because I dedicated myself every night to being in the state of knowing that I was going to get what I wanted eventually, some way, somehow, and practicing just having the feelings. Because here's the thing, my favorite quote from Abraham is, the only thing you want, anything you want. Let me say that again slower. The only reason you want anything that you want is because you think you'll feel better in the having of it. But you got to feel better to be in alignment with it first before you ever get it. And you don't even need it, because the feelings are fleeting when you change your focus. So in terms of dealing with that, okay, so here's your contrast. And now where are you going? You're not going to drive down the street looking in the rearview mirror. You're going to crash. So we need to look ahead. What are you creating? Here's your now. Okay, let what is be what is. Now move on. What are you creating? Where do you want to be? Let the now stimulate that big, energetic, emotional push to create what you want. Yes, you're going to deal with what is in your now. But that doesn't mean you have to have feelings and stories and negative things that pull you down about your now. Use your now to put you into the next phase of, well, what am I trying to create? What's that going to feel like? Play the game like Melanie was talking about with Tim. You know, can I manifest $10,000 extra today? Where's that going to come from? Be in a state of detachment and playfulness and say, what would be amazing? What would it be if I had my magic wand? What would that look like? What would that feel like? And the more you play there, the higher your vibration is, and the more you're going to attract things that you need and want. And the more you take score of where you're not, the more you keep yourself with what is, and the more you keep attracting what is. That's law of attraction speak for what the question is. Lisa.
JJ, is she still on the line?
She wasn't ever on the line.
She wasn't. Okay, because I would love to know what her current situation is, because you know, it can be a matter of owning your voice and asking for that raise, feeling empowered for it. I'd be curious about where she is in her life right now.
Okay, so when you watch the replay of this video, you can email me back on Instagram and let us know what you're saying. Come to the event, buy the live ticket, buy the virtual ticket, and Lisa and Melanie and I can help you. And I know you said your bank account said, here's a fun game. Your bank account says zero. Ask, wouldn't it be fun for me to go to the event? How can I manifest the money in the situation that gets me there? What would that be like? What would that feel like to be with them at the event having this transformation? Focus on that every day. Think about that. Get really excited about that. And let's see if we can't get you to the event.
I want to add something to that, because that's exactly the next tip I wanted to share. And I just have one more step. Do all that JJ just said, because it's so powerful. And then ask, what would I have to be willing to do differently now to help make that real? So be in the game.
Chris asked, ladies, how in the world does one let go of things? Chris, you're a Capricorn. That's all I'm going to say first. Okay, I've had control issues around money my entire adult life, and I'm pretty sure they all stem from the fact that before I got married, I was a good money manager, and after I got married, I wasn't. So I'm pretty sure I resent my husband for all the money stress we've been through over the past 24 years. I think I'm having a really hard time letting go of that. Okay, Melanie? Or Lisa, whoever wants to speak first.
I'm going to let Lisa go first. I want to sit with my thoughts for a minute.
It's about money, I feel, but it's really the resentment of it's resentment towards your spouse. You got to clear this resentment towards your spouse, right? And allow yourself. So there's probably an undercurrent, Chris, of feeling like, okay, well, if we make more money, we're just going to lose it anyway, because we have this pattern, right? And because of the past, and it's never going to be different. So it'd be around letting go of those past, and it'd be about releasing some energy around it, okay? And then knowing that it is in your divine right to make it again, because you've learned from the past, and it's the wisdom from the past that will allow the money to come back to you. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what I was picking up on, and just to kind of take what Lisa was saying and add to that, I also wonder if maybe you've built up some resentment towards yourself. And I think sometimes the fear of letting go, the control issues are maybe a reflection of where you didn't trust yourself somewhere. So was there a step that you didn't take? Was there a little voice you didn't listen to? Was there an intuitive hit about, the dynamics with your husband, or how much you maybe didn't pay attention to what was happening in the money situation? And so sometimes part of clearing that out with the clients I've worked with is to do everything Lisa just said, because I would do that first too, and then say, now where am I resenting myself, and how do I need to forgive myself, and kind of wipe the slate clean and start over. Yeah. So how could I create a bond with money so I allow it to ebb and flow gracefully and channel it, because I'm an excellent steward. So what if the decision that you wanted to make today to kind of release some of that energy and create a new story is, I am an excellent steward of money. And I trust that money will always be in abundance. And so now I'm going to actually up-level my habits with it, so that I can not only kind of clear the decks of the bad in what was in the past, but I can also allow more of it to flow into my life again, because I will trust myself, because I will be on point with it. So that's just kind of a little bit of the intuitive hit I was getting around that.
And I also say, Chris, that I think that, it's never about the money, right? It's about that reflection of what it means. So I think that somehow you have attached money to failure, or money to fear, or money to a relation. Like money you become afraid of it because of what it might do to your relationship, right? So it's that money's just energy, but we create this dichotomy with making it mean something that it doesn't necessarily mean. And so I'm sure that there's some clearing that can be done around that. There's also, like Melanie was saying, stories, telling yourself a different story and not making money sound like the bad guy in a way. And it brings out and so that has to shift in order for that relationship to change. One of our good friends, old-time colleagues, has a way she deals with money, and she makes it a person. And she makes, she's got the money monster, and then Morgana, right? So Morgana has the money monster, and she makes her money honey. And so it's about creating a new relationship with money like a person. And if you use a visualization like that and not have it be this separate thing, but personalize it in a different way and get rid of that negative energy, and then date the money, like have it be about love and what it can do for you, and changing that energy around it in a thought process way, not just obviously in an energetic way, right? But in the story that you're telling, or in the way that you relate to it, I think would also be an important practice, which I know we're going to do. We're going to do a bunch of it, both with Lisa and with Melanie at the event. I'll be doing law of attraction piece, but so you're going to get that. So don't worry, but it's going to be a focus of the next big step for sure. At least a couple hours of focus on money, if not half a day, right? We may take the half a day. I haven't set the schedule exactly yet because there's so much to do. And I want to make sure that everyone gets real involved in process, like we did, and even more than last time. So that way we're really focusing on getting deep and having it be a cellular level change, and more breakthroughs and more work with it, not just learning and listening to it, but to doing it and really like having that energetic sort of shift with it. So anything else you guys want to add about that to Chris?
No, I would say that you can actually start creating your new story right now. Sometimes it takes little baby steps, as Lisa was mentioning earlier, and sometimes it's leaps. And so just start creating the story now, and every day take a step to make it feel real.
And obviously these two ladies have things they can offer you as well. Lisa's got all of her audios and the work that she does. And Melanie's got a great toolkit actually. And as an entrepreneur you have your own business, Chris, definitely her toolkit was awesome to even just start like a new way of thinking about money, which again, we're going to do at the event, and everyone can go. And also, why don't you, Melanie, tell everybody where to get that toolkit?
Oh, sure. ProfitExplosionToolkit.com.
Okay. And Lisa, which site are we sending them to? Do we have, we used to have the free Clearing Inherited Money DNA. Do we still have that?
I don't believe, I did a new one. And they can go to, it's 100% free, and they can go to my website, but let me tell you where to get it because it's a little complicated to find it. So the website is Lisa Thomas Energy Healing, and it's in the top left-hand side, and it says free money or free download. It's in tiny letters, like it's just the way it is right now. So it's not easy to find, but it's a great inherited money clearing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And if it's okay, JJ, I'll just share, there's a secret way to get a very significant discount on my Profit Explosion Toolkit. If you go to rapidcashstrategies.com, there's a free top 10 ways I help people get a big burst of income. And on the page that shows up after that, there's a one-time special price on it. So just a little secret way to get there if you're like, I want this. Okay, I want to get the special too.
Right, I forgot that I did pay for that. So yes, and I did get the special. But
special,
definitely, yeah. And can they find that on your? I think I heard on your podcast because you did one earlier about rapid cash flow on the show too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So definitely check out Melanie's Melanie, tell them about your podcast real quick.
Yeah, amplifyyoursuccesspodcast.com. We're on iTunes, Spotify, all the big ones. Really, we're talking about how to amplify your impact and your income as an entrepreneur. So it's a weekly show that we do all about money, making an impact, becoming the person who has a really successful business.
Lisa, and what are you offering on your site right now?
Well, there are a lot of healing meditations. This is where I will take you through a guided meditation and then release blocks. This month's series is on relationships, and I'm going to call them strategic relationships because they show up in our business and in our love life, our personal life. And you can't have one without the other and feel balanced and complete without your relationships in communicating and how we feel about ourselves, the relationship with yourself. That's coming up in the month of August. So there's a lot of options on my website for things that have been done that might resonate with you.
I love those, Lisa. I love all those topics.
You've got great topics. So this is your invitation. If you want to dive a little deeper with us, specifically about money stuff, we're going to be doing it at the Next Big Step, September 20th through the 23rd. There are a few live spaces left, so it's a very limited room. So if you feel called to want to play with us and go a lot deeper and get a cellular experience, I would invite you to check that out. And for anyone that's watching this and you get a ticket for the live event, even if you get a ticket for the virtual event. So basically the virtual event is not a live stream. I would never ask you to sit here for 4 days or 3 days, like constantly watching things. That's not how it works. It's basically like a home study course. So after the event is over, you'll get all the videos and you can do it in your own time, but you have to do it in the order in which it's done because it's going to build on each other. But anyone who gets either one of those from watching today's broadcast, I will also throw in the virtual ticket from Releasing What Weighs You Down. So if you didn't attend that event or have that virtual ticket, it's not available right now, but I will make it available to those of you that take action on this because we want you to get the ball rolling. We want you to get going on this. So definitely check out jjflazanes.com/next big step. There's not going to be a place you'll see the bonus when you get your welcome email that says congratulations, you purchased the next big step. Just reply back to it and say JJ's offer Facebook Live. And I will know exactly what that is, and you will be granted the Releasing What Weighs You Down virtual ticket, and you'll get to do clearings and learn about how to use food to enhance your chakras. You'll get meditations, the whole 9 yards. And if you really want to dive deep, do that before you come to the Next Big Step, and you'll be really ready to go. So, so any last parting words from you ladies before we close up today?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that Lisa and JJ are two of my favorite go-to, energy, money, living a high vibration life. These are two of my favorite resources on the planet. And, I've had the privilege of getting to know Lisa a little bit more lately, and she blows my mind. I'm actually super honored to be, co-creating this event with you ladies. And oh my God, it's such an amazing group of people that are going to be helping to facilitate with you, JJ. You've just created a beautiful group. So I just want to say one thing about, the idea of being in a room doing breakthrough work. There is actually no better way to transform your life quickly than to immerse yourself into that space and surrender into a process with really powerful, especially I think female transformational leaders. And if you want new results in your life, you got to be willing to go in, dig in, and really clear the space for that next step to have the power and momentum it needs. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this event, and I don't speak at many events and go to many events these times. And JJ was like, oh my God, this is such an amazing event. You have to be there. And I'm like, okay, I say yes. So I hope you will too.
Yeah, I agree. Say yes. So I was part of JJ's event in January, and it was amazing. People left with a plan. They felt better. And if you're ready to go to the next step, this is the event. I promise you, you will come away feeling like it was the best 4 days in honoring yourself and your time. And keep in mind, that's usually what we have the hardest time with, is creating time for ourselves and investing in ourselves. But it's something that will pay off, and the money will start to flow, as well as other aspects of your life. Come join us.
We're dealing with so many different levels of things. You're guaranteed
not just money.
Right. You're guaranteed to leave with something that has had a major shift, and the rest of it, is all in process. But that's part of life, right? So if you don't take the time to actually focus on yourself, what's that saying? So if you have any money blocks, well, are you worth investing in, changing and releasing what's not working for you? I would think that this is definitely something that, and you also get the virtual ticket option with your live ticket. So you can revisit this over and over again. There's no it's a one-time thing and I'm done. We record the whole thing and you get it delivered to you, and you can continue to go back and use the meditations, use the exercise sessions, use the food sessions, use Lisa's clearings. Hello.
Oh, please go get those. Get it started. Yeah.
So it's definitely worth, because like I said, you get the virtual ticket with the live ticket, and we'd love to have you. So thank you all for participating. Thank you, Chris and Corrine and Rosemary and Deborah and Heidi and everyone else who's going to watch this afterwards. Make sure to check out jjflazanes.com/next big step. The special goes, you're going to get Releasing What Weighs You Down as well if you mention this broadcast. So I hope to see you in September. We're going to be back here with another Facebook Live of about 8 days from now. So the next one is going to be August 9th. It's going to be actually Lisa again and me and Chris Burns. And we're going to be talking about how to think, what blocks you from thinking bigger in all aspects of your life. What is stopping you from that, and how do you overcome that in different ways than just money. So we'll hope to see you back here on August 9th. Thank you so much for paying attention and listening. And hopefully this has shifted you in some way. And we want nothing but the best for your entire life. And we're here to support every aspect of that. So thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Share it if you got value today.
Oh, definitely share it, please. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.